Welcome to another one of my videos. You can help support this channel by subscribing and by grabbing one of my free ebooks. In this video, we are looking at an experiment I conducted off an idea that I got from messing around with the power armor. I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but I thought it had a high probability that it would. Well, let me show you the experiment and what I learned from it. So let's get to it. Like I said, I was at my camp conducting some experiments with the power armor, and I thought, why don't I try it without power armor? But before we get to that, let me tell you a couple things. I have the mutation called bird bones, which basically reduces fall speed. And if you don't know, with this mutation, I believe you lose 4 to strength, but you gain 5 to agility. You notice that I only have a -1 in my strength. That's because I have the class freak perk card. Have you figured out what I'm going to be talking about yet? Here's another hint. This is the goat legs perk card. You take 40% less damage from falling, and if you have 2 stars in it, I believe it's 80%. Now, I don't have this perk card because I went with the bird bone mutation, but I think you can still use it with it. I'm not sure what happens if it just completely negates falling, but I think now you know what my experiment is. And if you haven't guessed it yet, my experiment has to do with falling while not in power armor. Now, my experiment is not on the damage side of things. If you fall from a great enough height, you will die, even if you have bird bones. If you jump or fall from a shorter distance, bird bones will negate some of the damage. Like, here you go, see? I still took damage even with the bird bones, but if I had not had this mutation, I would have taken a lot more damage. But let me get back to what the actual experiment is. When you land from a great height, just like in power armor, you stagger. So my experiment is, how can we negate the staggering? Because who wants to be vulnerable during combat situation? You want to, or if you're fleeing, who wants to pause? So with the idea from my previous power armor video, and here it is if you want to take a look at it, I was trying to figure out what could you do to lessen the stagger. And this last test is just me jumping like I'm running away from something, and yeah, still the stagger. So here's what I found out with my experiments. The question is, will holstering or unholstering your weapon as in power armor almost negate or nullify the stagger? So let's try it out. First test conducted is just a straight jump off, and here we go, all the way. Oh, yeah. Basically, it lessened or completely negated the stagger. Okay, that experiment was holstering the gun. Let's try one more experiment. And this time, I'm going to be leaping off and pulling out my gun. And here I go, running and drawing my gun. I did pause, but it still lessened the amount of time that I was down. Now this is interesting now that I'm looking at it again. It looks like you pause every time you put away your gun. So that might be what is actually causing that secondary pause where I thought there should be no pause, is as you're drawing. So maybe if you fiddled with it some more, put away your gun while you're falling, maybe that would work. Now, I didn't do it on this experiment, but just thinking about it, that might be something that you can try while you're fiddling with this technique. Well, that is it for this video. And if you found this tip helpful, don't forget to like and share. Until next time.